card nostalgia and ASMR relaxation. We'd really love, if you would consider subscribing to the channel or leaving us a thumbs up, a comment, hype the video, however you want to help support the show. We're glad you're here. Well, let's get right to it. I have a lot of 1987 Topps rack packs laying about because I think every home in America has at least 6 Topps rack packs from 1987 or 88 or 89 just sitting about their houses. It just was the height of the junk wax era, I believe, for me. At least it was like kind of climbing up the hill. 1990 might have been the peak, but I love opening these. Who knows what we'll find? A Mark McGuire, Jose Canseco, a Bo Jackson Future Star card, a Barry Bonds rookie. We have several of those in the Sports Card ASMR collection, but we always want more. Alright, let's do it. We're going to crinkle, and then we're going to rip. As always, if you just want to get to the rip because you're more here for sports cards, there is a time code down below. Let's go. story of Jack Hallett and a broken bat home run. I know it's been done a few times, but it was much talked about in 1987. Butch Weiniger. Oh, we're getting into the heart of the 80s right here. Joe Carter, pretty good card there, not bad shape either. I have a few Joe Carters from 87 tops that aren't in great shape, but you're not going to really want to hold on to Joe Carter here. Jack Clark, love this Jack Clark card, always considered one of the best sluggers in the 80s, but here he is, rounding third and stopping before heading into home, so I've always loved that action shot there. The dirt flying up, this is as a kid made you want to play baseball. Like a good game of pickle in the backyard, or just have a pickle. That's probably my choice now. John Cangelosi right there, the White Sox, then soon to the Pirates. Darryl Motley, now with Braves, we pull a lot of Darryl Motley cards. Underrated player for the time. Good fourth outfielder kind of guy there, but it's funny, it's a staple of 87 tops. Hojo Howard Johnson, you would have wanted this card in 1987. He's an up-and-comer, one of our favorite terms around here. He did go up, and he did kind of leave, but love Hojo. Jody Davis, this is one of my favorite catcher cards from the era, because it looks as though he's very aware that he's being spied upon, like he's in his backyard with just a shirt on and maybe his socks and not much else, and he just caught you looking at him in the middle of, the action. He's suspicious of your purpose here today. I love this Jody Davis card. Kelly Gruber would be a solid star in the early 90s for the championship winning Blue Jays. Leon Durham there, Cubs fans, I think they forgave him for that ground ball in 1984. Greg Brock, who would soon find his way to the Brewers. And we got Mr. Steve Garvey probably winking at some young lady in the crowd there, waiting to, go against the vows of his marriage. Love Steve Garvey. I don't really. Andy Van Slyke, young Andy Van Slyke card right there. Look at that. Oh, Pete O'Brien, a staple of 1980s baseball, but I do enjoy this Andy Van Slyke with the Cardinals. About a year removed, I think, from joining the Pirates, where he would become a star of the late 80s and early 90s. All right, there you go. One little pack done. So I like opening up rack packs. We get more cards. All right, here we go. Henry Cotto with the New York Yankees. Chuck Carey. Joel Davis. Lamar Hoyt. God bless him. Look at that. Lamar Hoyt looks like he's gonna, do whatever it takes to get you into that Ford pickup truck. Just you just come ask him. He's got the hookup. Dickie Knowles right there. Don't laugh at his name, kids. He was a good pitcher for the Phillies for a while. Jose De Leon. Chuck Tanner, good old-fashioned manager card. Look at that. Oh, I miss manager cards. The Yankee leader card with Rick Anderson and Donnie Baseball there. Frank Williams playing for the Giants. Definitely not a airbrush photo. Definitely real. Steve Firavoid. I don't remember Steve much, but I do remember catching Firavoids in junior high. Ed Wojna. Another manager card. Hal Lanier. And Cubs leaders. A lot of leaders. Bobby Critch. Look at that. That mustache says, yep, I voted for Reagan twice. And we got Wade Rodon there, the Reds. Mike Woodard to round out the pack there. Not the greatest pack of 1987 tops, which, there's not a lot of great packs of 1987 tops. Okay, final pack of the day, final card bubble of the day. Steve Onoveros, Dale Morsick, Richard Dodson, and then we got the Billy Buckner 1987 Topps card, coming off that 1986 World Series mishap, the one that would unfortunately define his legacy. But look at those stats. Buckner played ball, man. He was one of the greats of his era. Respect to the late great Billy Buckner. Ozzie Smith, All-Star, probably the best card in the pack, and that's not saying much. Jerry Reed, definitely playing for the Mariners. Frank Pastor, sounds like a good sandwich you can eat. Giants leaders. And, oh, well, okay, there we go. That one is joining our collection. I do, though, have so many of these that I'm considering just buying a bicycle and putting some of these Barry Bonds cards in the spokes of the bicycle because I just have so many. But not a bad get at all. Barry Bonds, chicken in. There we go. Alright, back to the pack. Steve Sachs All-Star card. Not a bad relic there. Carl Willis. Jesus, Carl Willis looks depressed to be playing Major League Baseball. Like, why? I wasn't even supposed to be here today. Mike Morgan. And John Henry Johnson. He looks like a guy that's from some sort of myth or fable. Up in the hills lives John Henry Johnson. He'll stop a train with one finger and then chop wood with his foot. You know John Henry Johnson. And there's Tony Armas. And, well, the goddamn checklist. But more importantly, Billy Beane, the man who just a few years later would change the game of baseball in the front office. For better or worse, we have a man who, well, saw a vision of stats and ran with it. Check out Moneyball. Billy Beane. Well, all that to get that. Fair trade. Thanks for watching. Thanks for listening. Thanks for hanging out with me, the Sports Card Doctor. Leave a like, comment, hype the video, tell your friends. Super thanks. We appreciate you being here. See you next time on Sports Card ASMR.